up?
Joining us now, the latest entrant into the presidential race, Evan McMullin. He's a former CIA operative who most recently served as Chief Policy Director for the House Republican Congress.
Boy, I bet you're glad to be out of that job. And yesterday, he launched an independent bid for the White House. It's
what
great,
are you doing?
Great to have you here. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Running for president because I think Americans ought to be able to vote for somebody that they're excited about, somebody who they support, not somebody who they're supporting just to oppose the other person. We have Republicans voting, saying they're going to support Hillary, and others saying that they're going to support Trump. Right. But it's all avoiding a more difficult decision, and I think that what the American people deserve is somebody who they can get excited about and actually support.
So what do you say to somebody in Utah that says, okay, I want to vote for this kid from Utah, but he's never going to be elected president of the United States? I'm being
40,
a grumpy.
Okay, let's get that clear.
I'm
40.
Trust me. I've done this before. If you're a grumpy 65-year-old, they're going to call you a kid. Yeah. So what do you say to that person that said, if I vote for you, I'm wasting my vote?
Well, first of all, I'd say it's great to be considered too young, perhaps, to do something for once again.
Oh, yeah.
But no. Look, people in Utah especially are very disenchanted with their options this year. They don't know where to go. We've had an enormous outpouring of support since we announced. Right. People are volunteering by the thousands, literally, to support us, to be active in Utah and elsewhere. So we think we're doing a good thing there, but we hope to carry that message throughout the rest of the country.
Can you get ballot access? I mean, there are a lot of deadlines that have passed, obviously. Can you still get on some of the states where the ballot access deadlines have come and gone?
Yeah, actually, a lot of people, there are misconceptions, and a lot of people don't know all the details about getting on to ballots. Actually, there are many ways to do it. One is through petitions. There are still 20 or so states that we can petition onto, but there are other ways to get on those ballots, and I have a very experienced team that's been studying this for quite some time. Right. And we intend to have broad ballot access across the country.
How about money? We all know contributors, donors, they love to talk. They'll talk a big game. Yeah. They went ahead, they pushed you off the diving board. Is there going to be water when you hit the pool? Are they going to give you the support you need?
It's a good question, because I jumped into the pool yesterday and I didn't know if there was going to be any of that water. And let me tell you, there is. We've had just an enormous response of small dollar donations across the country. It's been heartwarming to me. I think Americans are hungry for what we're doing.
Right. What about big donors? Are they going to get involved?
Big donors have been aware of this effort for the last couple of weeks as I studied it. Communication, there were communications. There will be some meetings very shortly. And there are early signals of support.
All right.
What's your message?
My message is this. Both of our candidates, both of our major party candidates, are unfit for the responsibilities they seek. On one side, you have Hillary Clinton, who believes that she's unaccountable to the American people, which is highly problematic at a time when Americans don't feel they're being heard by the government. So to have a president who believes she's above the law, that she can take her emails and put them somewhere else so the public can't have any oversight over them through their elected representatives, that's we can't have that. Americans need to feel like their government is listening to them. So that's one thing. She also has ideas about big top-down government where insiders flourish and hardworking Americans have zero voice.
So what are your ideas? What's your message?
My message is this. We need to move power closer to the people. Okay, that means there's a bunch of power centered in the executive branch where it shouldn't be according to the Constitution. It needs to be with their elected representatives in Congress. And secondly, more power needs to be shifted back to the states, because power at the state level is far more accountable. People can people can meet their elected representatives much more easily. They may even know where they live. They can show up on their doorstep. If you've ever been a local elected official, you know that happens. But that's the kind of accountability that we need in this country. So that's part of it. On Donald Trump, it's sort of, where do you start? But as a former CIA officer, I deeply believe that Donald Trump harms the strength and prosperity of this country. Donald seeks to divide us. He seeks to pit us against each other, one race and religion against the other. This is the work of our adversaries. This is the work of Vladimir Putin. And as I say, it is the work of Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Given your clear and strong feelings about Donald Trump, given the fact you work closely with House Republicans on policy, were you disappointed that Paul Ryan endorsed Donald Trump?
I have the utmost respect for Paul Ryan. I believe he's a true statesman. And I'll have to let him explain the way he's handled it, but I know that he's in a tough position given his position. And so
Would you do the same thing?
I believe that I would handle it differently, yes, but I would say that he is in a difficult situation, and I understand how and why he's handling it the way it is.
How do you account for not just Paul Ryan, but other Republicans who stepped out in support of Donald Trump, clearly, based on what you know about many of these people, in conflict with their beliefs and what they probably feel in private about him? Why are so many Republicans supporting him?
Look, I think that they do that in response to the enormous frustration among the American people. Donald Trump, you know, for all his faults and dangers, he has galvanized and heard the voices of people who are really disaffected. The problem is he's taken that disaffection and he's combined it with their deepest fears and their darkest prejudices, not for the betterment of the country, but for his own empowerment. And so, but the point is that we have elected officials in Congress and elsewhere who are representing very frustrated people, and they're looking for change anywhere they can find it. And coming from the background I do, I see the danger in what Donald Trump specifically offers. We need a change agent that understands what makes this country special and that isn't about dividing people.
Halpern?
What was George W. Bush's single greatest national security or foreign policy error?
Well, look, I'll say that I served in Iraq, and I'm proud of my service there. But I believe that was a mistake.
Going in originally.
Yeah, and after that, we made many mistakes in Iraq. I don't think we should have done that. I understand the reasons. I was close to some of those reasons. I understood. I was at the CIA. I heard the justification. I don't think that served our best interest, but I understand it's more complicated than people imagine, but it probably wasn't the best decision. But let me say this. I want to make this very clear. George W. Bush kept this country safe for his entire presidency after 9/11. He paid a political price for that. He became very unpopular because he made the tough decisions to keep us safe. President Obama is doing the opposite of that. He is benefiting him, he's serving himself politically by not doing the hard things we need to do to especially defeat ISIS. I'm ready to step in and do that from day one. I have the first-hand experience. I've been there, done that. I know exactly what we need to do, and I will do it as president.
Gene?
Evan, how much money are you going to need to do this campaign, and where are you going to get it from?
Well, look, I believe we're going to have the resources we need. If yesterday was any indication of what kind of resources will be available to us, I have no concern whatsoever. We have major donors reaching out, wanting to talk to us, those who are aware of this effort and those who are not. And then what's most important is these small dollar donations coming in from around the country and the messages that come with them. You know, thank goodness someone is doing this. So I'm very encouraged and hopeful that the American people especially will continue to support us. I believe we will continue to rally their support.
All right, Evan McMullin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very
so
good
much.
to meet you.
Congratulations.
Likewise. Thank you very much.